Ever wonder if you're a true introvert? Maybe you've had those moments where a quiet evening alone feels more rewarding than a big night out. Or perhaps deep conversations are your thing and small talk just doesn't cut it. If that sounds like you might just be a true introvert. Let's dive into the 8 signs that could confirm it. It may explain a lot about why you are the way you are. Hello, my name is Daniel. I help introverted professionals advance in their career. I've worked with over 300 clients now. I've trained global companies and I'm a proud introvert myself. On this channel, we'll be speaking about communication skills and introversion. So please be sure to give me a subscribe. Let's get into it. A common misconception is those who are more outgoing never feel drained. This is not the case. We can all feel tired and drained from people. Introverts tend to get drained more easily in social settings due to their inherent wiring towards inner experience and reflections. The key reason lies in how introverts process stimuli and social interactions. Neurologically, introverts have a higher sensitivity to dopamine, a neurotransmitter involved in reward and arousal systems. While extroverts thrive on the dopamine-driven stimulation found in social environments, introverts reach their optimal dopamine levels much quicker. Imagine you're at a party. After about an hour of mingling, chatting, and listening, you might start to feel your energy levels dip significantly. The constant stimulation from noise, people, and activity begins to feel overwhelming to your senses. At this point, you might find a quiet corner or step outside for a few minutes to catch your breath and recharge. In contrast, an extrovert at the same party might still be riding high on the social energy. They thrive on the interaction and the buzz of the crowd, drawing energy from these external stimuli. While you're looking for a quiet retreat after about an hour, the extrovert might continue to engage with people, feeling energized and invigorated and possibly staying lively for several more hours without feeling any social fatigue. This difference highlights how introverts and extroverts manage and respond to social energy. Extroverts may see a party as an opportunity to boost their energy levels, whereas introverts might view it as enjoyable but also taxing, requiring strategic breaks to maintain their social stamina. Whenever I go to a social event, I start to feel quite drained fairly quickly. I'd say after about an hour I start to feel it, and then maybe after 2 hours I start to feel completely drained, even if I'm having a good time, which can be quite frustrating in a way, because often when I'm socializing with people, they're people I want to be around, but I can't help when I start to feel drained, and I know at that point I need to either go and take a break or just go home. The second point that shows you're a true introvert is you don't enjoy socializing just for the sake of it. Being an introvert is different from being antisocial. Introverts are selectively social, meaning we value socializing with people we have a strong connection with or that we can go deeper with. For example, I have a close group of friends who I look forward to meeting up with. However, if I was invited somewhere where I didn't connect with the people, I wouldn't look forward to going to it, and I wouldn't feel a need to go just to get out of the house or just for the actual act of socializing. I know people who they will go places where they don't really connect with people, but they just need that social interaction. So as an introvert, we still need social interaction, but we're more selective with who we socialize with. Number 3, staying home can be an introvert's favorite place. I look forward to weekends where I can stay home all weekend with my wife and my dog Milo. When it gets to about a Thursday, I start to dream about my weekend where I'm at home, even though I work from home. Home can be an introvert's favorite place because it's the one place where we can recharge our energy. It's very difficult to recharge your energy anywhere but your home, because it's the one place where you have control over the environment. You have control over the noise, the lighting, and it's the place where you can truly be yourself. We live in a world designed for extroverts, so your home is a place that you can design just for you. Some of you may be living with flatmates, family, so you don't have this complete control yet. So you have to try and create your own sanctuary within these circumstances, with the aim to one day have complete control over your space. I would much rather stay home than go out any day. Number 4, you prefer working alone than in groups. Introverts can do their best work alone. However, the workplace especially constantly encourages people to work in groups. even if there's no need for it. Being able to work well in the team is vital for career progression. However, when you put an introvert in a group without giving them time to process, you leave them feeling drained because they haven't had that time to think through their response. I've been on professional training courses recently, and every 20 minutes, the person leading the course wants to put people in groups to discuss what they've learned. And it just left me feeling totally disengaged because I never even had a moment to process what I'd learned first. I was just put straight into this group and expected just to speak about it. And this only favors those who are more extroverted and who can kind of process out loud. Whereas those more introverted, we just end up just sitting there quietly because we haven't had time to process yet. So group activity, group discussions, they're important and they do have their place, but they aren't the only way. And as an introvert, you won't prefer them. Number 5, introverts favor one-to-one relationships primarily because these interactions allow us to go deeper, allow us to build more meaningful connections, which we find especially rewarding. Unlike larger group settings where conversations can be superficial and scattered, one-to-one interactions provide the opportunity for us introverts to engage fully and thoughtfully. They can focus on the conversation without the distractions and overstimulation that often accompanies group dynamics. Additionally, in a one-on-one setting, introverts can take time they need to think through their responses. This aligns well with their internal processing style, which involves carefully considering what they hear and crafting thoughtful replies. The slower pace and greater depth of conversations in these scenarios allows introverts to express themselves authentically and build genuine rapport. Introverts often find one-on-one interactions less draining than group interactions. The energy required to keep up with multiple people and various conversational threads can quickly deplete an introvert's social stamina, whereas a single focused dialogue is more manageable and allows us introverts to utilize our energy more effectively. Unless it's a group of people who I know really well and it's a close group, I don't really enjoy group situations. I feel like I don't get much from them. I prefer to listen and to go deeper. Whereas when you're in a group, everybody's interrupting each other, you don't know when to jump in, and my communication style is listening and processing, whereas in a group, I feel like I have to interrupt people and it just doesn't feel right. Number 6, small talk can be challenging. It's common for introverts to dislike small talk. Introverts often dislike small talk because it feels superficial and draining rather than genuinely engaging or meaningful. Here are a few reasons why small talk can be particularly challenging for us introverts. Number 1, lack of depth. Introverts generally prefer conversations that have depth and substance. They thrive on discussions that allow them to explore ideas, emotions, and philosophies in detail. Small talk, which tends to skim the surface with topics like the weather or routine, daily activities, it offers little of this depth and can therefore seem unfulfilling and tedious. Energy consumption. Engaging in small talk requires introverts to expend energy on interactions that they don't find rewarding. Since introverts have limited social energy, they prefer to use it on conversations that they find more meaningful and enriching. Forced interaction. Small talk often occurs in casual or spontaneous contexts, such as meeting someone new or filling a silence in a social setting. For introverts who typically like to prepare for interactions or choose carefully, being thrust into these impromptu conversations can feel awkward and forced. It's not that introverts hate talking to people, it's that they actually want to go deeper with people to learn more about them. I used to hate small talk and avoid it at all costs. Some of this was related to my introversion. However, some was related to confidence, anxiety, and a lack of social skills. I've been helping professionals to become more socially confident for many years now, so I no longer hate small talk. It was challenging for me to learn and develop it, but now I see it as a chance as like the first stepping stone to then go deeper with people. Because if you happen to be a professional in a corporate role who is struggling socially at work, I recently did a live masterclass where I went into more depth on how to build confidence socially, how to develop social skills, and I touched on how to develop small talk. So I'll put a link to it below. Number 7, dislike being put on the spot. Introverts typically dislike being put on the spot for several reasons, mostly related to their internal processing style and comfort with public attention. Introverts have a preference for internal processing, which means we prefer to think things through before speaking. We process information internally and often need time to formulate our thoughts and responses. So being put on the spot demands immediate reactions, which can be challenging for introverts, as we feel more confident and comfortable when we have time to articulate our thoughts. We also dislike the sudden attention. Introverts usually prefer to avoid the spotlight and might feel uncomfortable or anxious when all eyes are on them. This unexpected focus can increase stress levels, especially in a group setting, making it difficult for us to perform optimally and express ourselves the way we want to. Introverts conserve their energy for interactions they find most meaningful. So being put on the spot can feel like an unexpected drain on our energy reserves, especially if it involves dealing with confrontation or high pressure situations that require a lot of kind of mental engagement. As an introvert, I still don't like being the center of attention. And for years, I did everything to push myself to get over this. I went to improv classes, I went to public speaking, I even had my own social group at one point. I've now delivered workshops for up to 1,000 people, but still, I strongly dislike that feeling of being put on the spot. Like where you have to share your story. I would much prefer to have the attention onto the other person and for them to be speaking and for me to simply be listening. The 8th point is you show enthusiasm in different ways. Introverts can often be accused of lacking enthusiasm. I've been told this so many times in my life, especially in the workplace. You need to be more enthusiastic. I went for a job interview once and it meant a lot to me. I prepared for it and really wanted to get it, but the person interviewing said, "Are you sure you want this?" Introverts often have more reserved or subdued ways of expressing their emotions, while an extrovert might openly display excitement or enthusiasm through gestures, loud expressions, or animated facial expressions. Introverts tend to be more contained. Their internal feelings of joy or excitement might not always be visibly apparent to others, making them seem less enthusiastic. Introverts also process their experiences internally. They tend to reflect deeply on their thoughts and feelings, which means their reactions are not immediately observable. They may feel very enthusiastic internally, but take time to express these feelings outwardly, if at all. Introverts often prefer and appreciate subtlety in communication and behavior. Their expressions of enthusiasm may be more nuanced, such as a thoughtful nod, a sincere smile, or engaging in a deep conversation about a topic they love, rather than overtly energetic or broad gestures. Understanding and embracing your introversion means recognizing your need for deeper connections, valuing quiet reflection, and finding strength in your inner world. It's okay to prefer a night in with a good book, one-to-one conversations that go beyond surface, or needing time to recharge after social activities. These aren't limitations, they're your superpowers. We've established the signs that make you an introvert. Now, if you want to learn how to thrive as an introvert in an extroverted world, watch this video above. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.